Hey, we're here with Carl and Tom of My Morning Jacket. Thanks so much for taking the time, guys. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
Um, with this whole music industry 2.0 thing going on, it seems like we're kind of genreless now. Like, we don't need bands that have to go in specific buckets. We don't need you to be a jam band or a folk band or a neo 70s band. You're just kind of a band making cool music, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to process everything you just said. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we placed any pressure on ourselves as far as fitting in any genre.
Yeah.
So,
Is it a collaborative process in terms of Jimmy writing lyrics and you guys writing the music, or is it all you guys writing everything together? How does the process work for you guys?
it depends on the song. There are times when Jim will present us the music and the lyrics at the same time,
Right.
like in a demo he'll show us on the guitar what he's thinking. But there's other times when it's more open. It just depends on the song. I mean, usually he's coming with a general idea and all the lyrics that he's writing, and we're jamming and we're all kind of like putting it together,
Right.
musically. So it just depends on the song.
Circuital. I mean, from Evil Urges till today, you had your solo project, and Jim's been working in Monsters of Folk. What brought the whole thing back together for you guys? Did you always know that you were going to be back making record together?
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I think, well, there was the opportunity to do this Muppets project where
Right.
we were going to be the Electric Mayhem Band.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what brought us all back together a couple of years ago, just to work on that over at Jim's. And then that kind of evolved into this album the next year, and we got together to rehearse.
And what happened with that? Did Walt Disney just pull the plug on the whole thing? Or?
Yeah, I think whoever was in charge, whoever kind of dreamed up the idea or was heading the project,
Right.
was no longer working at Disney, and then of course all of the projects he was working on kind of fell through.
So at least you had some songs left over, right, from that process?
Yeah, we had ended up maybe writing 2 songs, I guess, for the project, and one of which ended up on the album,
Right.
Out of My System.
Yeah. And you also have been on a few cool like comps recently. You were on the John Prine comp, which was a cool song, and All the Best, I think it's called, the song.
Yeah.
And then you're also on the Buddy Holly comp that just came out last week. How do you guys get involved? Does your agent look for these things, or do you just get called, or how does that all work?
I think people that are putting together those compilations send out wish lists to
Right.
their bands. And a lot of times you'll see an email like, "This band's already committed to this project. Do you guys want to do it?" Or I think mainly for us it's the decision of, do we have something, or do we feel connected to that artist? If like a John Prine song, of course we all love John Prine. It's
Right.
like we've already kind of done some John Prine songs and stuff, so it wasn't
Right.
like. And the Shel Silverstein thing that we did was really fun.
Oh, I didn't
we
know
had
about
kind of a
that.
connection to that.
Oh, wow.
What label was that on? Lost Highway?
Oh, I gotta look that up.
But yeah, so it just depends. And the Buddy Holly thing ended up being basically just a song that Jim did by himself.
Wow.
Put strings on it. So, yeah.
So this album, you went back home and you recorded it in a church gymnasium. Is that right?
Yeah.
He was so excited about.
Yes, it was a church gymnasium.
Why?
Yeah.
Why there?
A friend of ours, Kevin Ratterman, who is kind of the recording engineer in town, had worked in the space before, but just doing like solo work.
Yeah.
He'd never really done full band stuff there before, I don't think. So we looked at it as an opportunity just to have a cool space to rehearse in. We weren't sure that we didn't know that we were going to make a record when we first, got together at the gym.
And it's recorded mostly live off the floor, right? Together.
Yeah. I mean, I think all the main vocals are done live. Pretty much everything is. I mean, there's obviously some overdubs on there, but the main takes.
In slow tune, you kind of get the feeling of the bigger space, and you kind of like really can hear the. And I don't know if it's because it's a slower tune or what, but you can actually hear that you're in a bigger room, and your parts seem so different and distant from other people's parts and stuff.
Mhm.
And the drumming actually sounds that way too.
The cool thing about Slow is that was the first song we worked on.
Right.
And like Tom said, we set up all the players and the equipment, and we're like, well, we might be making a record, we might just be doing some demos. But Slow was the first song that we like got a good reversion of and listened to it, and we're like, oh, I think we're making a record. So, and that was like the purest live. We didn't try to do much installation at all. That was like literally hardly any, you know, baffling or anything like that. And the vocal, everything is, my guitar is in the drum mics, and the drums are in the vocal mic, and everything is really bleeding a lot. I think when they were mixing it, they're like, oh no. So it's like you had to commit to the way it was sounding.
Right.
You know?
How involved was Tucker in the process of producing the record?
He was crucial to it.
Yeah.
I always just think of him as another musician, kind of. You know, he's doing a lot of things that I don't even notice as far as like getting things to be sonically right.
Right.
He's just a very musical person, you know.
So he's just and Jim also adds a little bit of flair to the
yeah,
production.
Tucker and Jim had a really good relationship as far as I could tell, and it was 7 friends and after a week or two, it was Kevin and Tucker and us, and we were just all in it together.
Can I just ask you personally, I really enjoyed your solo record. Is there plans to make more solo music outside the band?
Yeah, I'd like to make another record.
Yeah.
I've been working on some songs, but it's kind of like I'm 100% in my Morning Jacket world right now, and the touring's been so much fun. Like literally playing these shows on this record has been the most fun musical live shows that we've ever played. We're kind of like laughing and having fun.
That's great.
So I'm stoked to be doing that. But eventually, I think if we take a long enough break, I always get bored and start writing.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time, guys, and looking forward to the show tonight. You guys always, your live shows are so legendary that I'm so psyched to see you guys again. So thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Thanks.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.